Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am JLeesCorner. This is JLeesCorner. This is my review for Braxton Family Values. This is season 7, episode 3. It is late. It is 3:38 in the morning, so we're going to move on past all the good stuff and whatnot. Okay, but y'all know I want y'all to subscribe to my channel. I want y'all to become a whole JayBird. I want y'all to inhale and exhale. Let's remember to breathe. I want y'all to relax, relate, to release. Okay, and all that good stuff and stuff. Okay, let's get into this episode. I don't have cartoon characters because, again, I just didn't. Plus, it's a little bit of seriousness to this, so I don't want to bring a joking aspect to it just yet. Okay, but next week we will have some funny pictures and whatever. Okay, so we see Tracy falling down and she's trying to help Trina to go down the aisle, and she brings up how her pantsuit, the pants were too long, and so with walking and trying to hold Trina's her train, she couldn't also hold up her pants, so she tripped or whatever. Okay, now she admits the pants were too long. I was not drunk. Now I was able to go to Trina's IG page and get this picture. Okay, now I told y'all I loved Tracy's jumpsuits. You know, the other sisters, again, we know that her dress looks amazingly beautiful. I don't like the Mama Braxton is in white or silver, whatever. I think she should have had a different color. I always feel like nobody should be in the color of white like the bride, unless the bride is okay with that or whatnot. So maybe she didn't care. I don't know. Her breasts are looking. Look at Trina's boobs, honey, are sitting. Okay, they are sitting up on her chest and whatnot. I don't like Tony's outfit for the wedding as a sister. I don't like Tamar's outfit. For some reason, Tamar's dress don't match her stockings. I feel like the stockings in the dress don't match her wig. Some about it I don't like. I think Tawanda's dress looks plastic. Okay, that could have been the look she was going for. I like the style of the dress, but the dress looks like it either looks like it's velvet. What is that, velvet? Or like it's some kind of weird plastic. I'm not sure. But for me, Trina looked amazing. And again, I love Tracy's jumpsuit. But she tripped. You can see her pants do look a little long because she didn't get them tailored or whatnot. Okay. Anyway, so those was the looks of the wedding. And again, I got that from from Trina's IG page or whatever. But they say they vows. Look, come look real quick now. Y'all ready to look real quick? Okay? It's gonna be 5 seconds or less. If you ain't looking yet, you gotta get it together now, okay? Her and Vine saying their little vows. Her dress looked amazing. His suit looked amazing. It was good. Boom, and it's gone, okay? Anyway, so they said their vows. It was funny. It was loving. It was grown people and this and whatever, Vaughn, like, I gotta go to bed and not be angry. I gotta accept all our family members. Is that what I gotta do? It was funny. But they got married nonetheless. Now, Judge Maybelline said, y'all both have been married and been down this road a few times. So let's hope this is the last time. This is his 5th marriage. This is her 4th marriage. I'm looking like, look, if this don't work, y'all should just date other people or whatnot. Because if for him to go for number 6 and her to go number 5, I mean, look, find love where you can find it. Vaughn and Trina seems happy. Trina seems grounded with him, so I'm gonna hope that's the best thing for her and whatnot. Okay, now we do see David was there. Okay, well, his face was being blurred. He was with Tamar, but you would see when she was in scenes, they would like cut just her face, and you would see like a little head above her. It was David. They cut him out. He ain't gonna be on here, not at all, or whatever. So we do see they are like at the reception or whatever, and then Tracy, like, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, my sister's gonna say I was drunk, okay, and that's why I feel, and I ain't been drinking, and I'm like, well, then don't care, Tracy, just don't care about it or whatever. And she also brings up how she don't like Sean, who was Tawana's boyfriend or whatever, because he's always involved with himself in family shit, because he came over there and told her daddy, hey, they want you over there. I'm looking like, I feel like Sean do be too involved in the issues of the family, but I do feel like for the wedding, Tawanda trying to help do stuff and facilitate whatever, and she probably making him help her. Okay, I don't think that was him on his own saying, hey, I think that was Tawanda telling him what to do and him just doing it or whatnot. But I do think, because she brought up how, last year at the little Napa Valley thing or whatever, he got involved with me and Tamar, and I don't like it. She hold on to that. So she don't like him for that reason. But I can agree sometimes when you already have family issues, you don't want someone new thinking, I can solve it. I just got here, but I had the solution. No, sir. Go over there with that bullshit or whatever. Anyway, so we see that and whatnot. Now, our daddy, do sing a little song. Okay, unforgettable. That's what you are. I swear, darling, it's incredible. Something so unforgettable, or whatever. Nat King Cole, Nelly Cole. Anyway, but he's singing this to Tracy, not Tracy, Trina. He then also has Tracy help him a little bit and whatnot. Now, Daddy Braxton can't sing. However, a father singing to his daughter for the first time at her wedding is amazing. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, wow, the sisters was back there laughing about how bad he was sounding. That moment to me was amazing because, you would look back at that lady like, tugs at the heartstrings. Now, Tracy helping him sing, her voice wasn't the best. It wasn't, but I also felt like she wasn't prepared to sing. Tracy doesn't have a always on point voice. Tracy has a I have to be prepared to sing voice. She can sing, you know what I'm saying, but she not put me on a spot at any moment, and if you give me any song to sing, I can do it. That ain't her voice. But when she needs to sing something and she know what she has to sing, she can get on key for that. She ain't do that here, but again, she helping her father sing to her sister at the wedding, and it was a beautiful moment or whatever. But I'm like, girl, whatever. So we do see, people giving speeches. Okay, we see Von brother, we see both of Trina's kids saying, this and that about how happy they are, the families are merging, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we see all of that. Now we also see them cutting the cake. It's going to be real quick now. Y'all ready? You ready to see the cake? Okay. Boom. Okay. Cutting a little cake. This is the cake that Trina got from Tawanda. No, not from Tracy. Girl, from Tawanda. There was some damn girl's name. Tony and Tamar. Okay, that's what it was. That's them at the reception. The cake looked nice. Boom, palace gone. Okay, anyway. Now, back at the table, Tracy's daughter-in-law tells Tracy, your sisters was laughing at you when you were singing. Now, were they laughing? Yes. Were they laughing specifically at Tracy? No. I do believe they were laughing at their daddy. Okay. But however, I can see how someone can assume they're laughing at Tracy. Because Tracy's also singing. And Tracy also didn't sound the best or whatever. And so she brings up how, well, I did look over and I did see them laughing. They were laughing at me. So now she pissed. Pissed and all in her feelings. So now everybody trying to figure out why she pissed. Because she didn't got up and walked away. But she got up and went to separate herself from her sisters to give herself time to calm down. Okay, now Kevin is talking to Tawanda and Tony and maybe even Tamar. I don't know who it all was. Everybody except Trina's enjoying her wedding or whatever. All of this is going on at the reception and Trina doesn't know what's going on. But Kevin tells the sisters, like, look, don't even feed into it. This is Trina's day. Just leave Tracy alone for right now and it'll be fine or whatever. So again, Tracy then walked away and she's now behind this curtain thing. There's like a separate area where they was getting dressed out or whatever early. She by herself. Well, we then see Tamar goes over to that area. Now this is what David was talking about on Get Your Life, how the little altercation. Now we don't see anything. Okay, there's no camera back there when it happened, but you can hear what's going on because they're all mic'd. Okay, little hot mic. Tracy stated Tamar You are never real. You are fake and a fraud, okay? But I love you. But I love you, Tracy. And so you hear Tracy say, you don't love me. You never even liked me, okay? And Tamar then says, of course I do. Of course I love you, okay? You then hear Tracy say, get up my face. And I'm like, oh Lord, who's in her face, okay? Now, again, we not seeing nothing. We seeing bits and pieces being cut up. And we're hearing bits and pieces being cut up or whatever. You then hear Tony say, go get Kevin. Go get Tracy's husband because I'm not going to deal with Tracy today, okay? You then hear Kevin saying, y'all can go. I got Tracy. Just go ahead on. So again, they all was behind a little curtain. At this point in time, you hear Tracy saying, I'm not going to keep letting them disrespect me and making me feel any kind of way. Now, Tracy sounds extremely agitated, okay? She is definitely on 10, okay? She's on 10 up in the trees, whatever. You then see Mommy and Tawanda walking from behind the little thing. You then see Tamar and David walking from behind the thing. You see Tamar kind of flip her hair backwards and kind of move it out her face and whatnot. You do not hear a scuffle. You don't hear, even Tamar saying, let me go. You don't hear any of that. You just hear the whole get out my face in the conversation. What's going on? You hear Mama Braxton saying, what's going on? But again, no one was back there to really see what happened. You know what I'm saying? That much or whatever. Now, when you then see Tawanda and Tamar standing near Daddy Braxton, so Tracy needs to leave. Tracy and her husband needs to leave right now. I'm like, how are you kicking somebody out your sister's wedding? You kicking your sister out your sister. But again, they want to be sure that none of this is anything that Trina has to deal with. Even though Trina and Vaughn can hear scuttlebutt happening, you can't see what's happening because again, they're all behind this closed off area with curtains or whatever. We then see a little bit behind the curtain. You see Tracy sitting there. You see Kevin sitting there too. And she's like, I'm not going to keep going through this. And you see Tracy's having a complete meltdown. She's not loud to where it probably was a disruption, but people heard a little bit of rumbling or whatnot, okay? And Kevin, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to need you to calm down. I'm not going to keep letting them treat me like a kid anymore. And I'm like, girl, Tracy, calm down. So he then said, we need to leave. He then leaves with Tracy. Okay, we see that. And then I'm like, girl. But thank God, Trina enjoyed her wedding. I don't think it really disrupted that much. People knew something happened, but no one knew what it was or what happened. I don't think anybody even knew that allegedly Tracy put her hands on girl. On Tamar. I'm like, these fucking names. Anyway, we then see a few days later, Trina goes over to talk to Tawanda. And, Tawanda brings up what happened at the wedding. From her recollection, she said, I wasn't back there. So I didn't see what happened. But supposedly there was an altercation. Tracy was upset that we were supposedly laughing at her. But we were not. We laughed at Daddy singing and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? And even Tawanda say that Miss Wanda told Tracy, they wasn't laughing at you. It wasn't you they was laughing at. But again, Tracy was already pissed off and in her feelings. Tracy was in her feelings, I think, from the moment they sat Mommy down at a table with Ms. Wanda. I think she felt from that moment it's some bullshit afoot, and then that moment is kind of carried over into everything else or whatever. And so she then brings up how, again, she don't know what happened, but Tracy and Tamar had words, and there was some kind of altercation, but she don't know because she wasn't back there. But, it was some bullshit and whatnot. And Trina brings up how, Tracy's always felt some kind of way about her voice. Like, she always has felt bad when people compare her to the other sisters because of how she feels her voice is. It's like, even though Tracy's very talented, she still feels some kind of way or whatever. And she's also the most kind of emotional sister. I'm looking like, I think Tamar is the most emotional, but I'm gonna leave that be. Anyway, and she brings up how it's not even what Tracy does, it's how she does it. It's how she approaches things when she's fed up that makes it be more than what it is or whatever. And then Tawana like, well, I feel like the daughter-in-law was out of order for even telling Tracy that we was laughing at her. I'm like, that daughter-in-law probably feel like she probably felt like y'all was laughing at Tracy because Tracy probably has in her head y'all be fucking with her. And so she probably felt like I have to be on the side of my mother-in-law. Let me tell her what I think happened, even if she was wrong. The family just has issues all up and through or whatever. But then see Daddy Braxton, and the brother Mikey meets up with Tracy. Again, it's the days after, or maybe even a week or so, I don't know. But it's after the wedding or whatever. And no one has really talked to Tracy. Okay. Betty Braxton brings up how he and Tracy's always been the closest, mainly because when him and Mama Braxton separated and divorced, Tracy was the only person who did not abandon him. Like she didn't cut him off like everybody else did, because again, you cheated on Mama and then remarried somebody, whatever, wouldn't like you. Tracy stayed close to him, which makes me feel like they may also all harbor some kind of feeling for her because she, didn't 100%, shun Daddy and protect Mama or whatever. I don't really care. Now, they both bring up how they know it was some kind of altercation, but they don't know what. Mikey brings up how, I don't think what Tracy did was right, but I do feel like, her and my sisters, they all have issues with each other. It's not as if they pick on her or whatever. They all have issues. Now, Mikey is the brother whose daughter died months ago. Because this was filmed probably around sometimes I'm gonna say September, November, because that's when Tracy got married. The daughter died in April, so that at this point in time, the daughter ain't even been dead a whole year. It's been like some months or whatever. But I'm like, if he's able to be here and be sound and have us, be as normal as normal can be, I'm like, why y'all fooling with that? What's going on here, or whatever? And now he brings about him and Tracy used to talk all the time, and even after she passed away, him and Tracy would talk like weekly and just talk about Lauren or whatever. He's like, even that kind of, has not been happening recently. So when Tracy get there, she brings up how, well, it's been kind of hard for me to keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? And I just, it's just hard for me in general or whatever. So I'm just trying to deal with it or not. And Daddy Braxton asked a great question. He said, was it that you were feeling some kind of way because Lauren wasn't there? Did it trigger something in you? Because again, we had a family function and Lauren isn't here. That's the first family function they've had since Lauren died or whatever. Did that set you off? She's like, well, yeah, kinda. I do feel like, but I also get, frustrated with people antagonizing me. Tracy feel like they was laughing at me. She feel like they dismiss me. And those are her feelings about what happened. And so even though that may not be actually what happened, that's how she feel. And so she acts off those feelings and whatever. And Michael, again, I can't say she was right, but they gotta do something. Tracy brings up how she kind of separated herself from them at the, like, I left the table and went, elsewhere. They all came over there fucking with me, you know what I'm saying? And then I reacted, okay? And they like, you know what, Tracy, you need to go talk to somebody about that, okay? Go do that first. But we love you now. We love you, whatever. I'm like, cool. So at this point in time, we see COVID has hit. Okay, so we like, oh yeah, COVID's hit. We hope it don't last too long. We hope the shutdown lasts. Now this is probably around, March and April. When they're like, shutdown is happening. We hope it don't last too long or whatever. And Tony was doing like reshoots for a video. But this again was the beginning stages of COVID. And they just had like, little mask here, mask there. Tamar showed up to support or whatever, spraying people down. I don't know what she was spraying them down with, what it was, but she was spraying them down. And, just laughing and talking or whatever. So we see that part. And I'm like, cool. Tracy then goes to therapy. And I would say it worked really well for her first session. She was talking about the wedding situation. And also her not being over the death of her niece who died, months prior. And then she brings up how she said what happened from her recollection. I went to separate myself from them. I took myself out of the bullshit. My sister Tamar then came in there where I was and sat down next to me, and they was like and was in my face like, what did I do? What happened? What did I do? And she was mimicking Tamar. It's funny. And then she's like, she was in my face asking what did I do to her or whatever. And she's like, I grabbed her hand and said, don't touch me. Okay. And she's like, again, from then I blacked out and I don't remember what I said or what I did. Because again, they saying that she put her hands on Tamar. And she's like, I don't know what happened, but I did grab her hand. What Tracy is saying matches what David said happened to a certain level. Meaning David said they were sitting there talking. Trina then grabbed Tamar's hand and bent it back. He added how that she grabbed Tamar's hair in some kind of way. So again, I think that is basically what happened, but it wasn't like an attack. It was like Tamar came and sat down next to her, and they just wasn't vibing, and she snapped. But I don't think she like jumped on her. Because it didn't, I think if Tamar would have jumped on her, Tamar, it wouldn't have been such a quiet situation. You know what I'm saying? I think your sister grabbing your hand and saying, don't touch me, is one thing. But if you hit me up my head or put my wig off or whatever, it would have been an issue. And the fact that Tamar went out there as if nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Anyway, so, she said, I feel like, whenever I do something with them or whatever, I feel like they don't want me to be heard. They want me to be seen but not heard. You know, each year something is my fault. It's my fault, my fault, my fault. They then show different scenes over the years, Tracy and them at group therapy, whatever, and Tony saying that Tracy needs to lose 30 pounds immediately. We then see Tawanda on different seasons telling the sisters how, Tracy's husband was cheating or whatever. He could have a whole sad baby, but having that conversation with the sisters without Tracy being there. And then Tracy saying, like, I wish y'all would let me talk about my marital issues or whatever and not have these sad conversations about me without me being there. And them feeling as if, well, if you there, you're gonna feel some kind of way, and we don't really want you to, be saying this or that. Again, you want to see me here, but you don't want me to have an opinion about what y'all doing. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. We then see when they went on the trip last year, and Tamar was upset that Kevin was saying happy birthday to both Tamar and Tracy, because the trip was for Tamar's birthday. However, her birthday had passed, and the trip timeline was in between Tamar's birthday and Tracy's birthday, and that particular day was Tracy's actual birthday. But Tamar was upset that she was even acknowledged, which was dumb to me. But again, it showed moments where Tracy felt like they just kind of belittled me and want me to just shut up about what was going on or whatever. Anyway, I just feel like every year, I tell them how I feel and they don't care. I'm just so angry that my niece is gone. I no longer have the support of my niece because we were so close. And, we would talk all the time, and I don't have that anymore. And then she brings up how, I'm not close to my brother anymore because, again, he lost his daughter. And I don't want to be selfish and saying I feel like I lost a daughter to him, so I can't talk to him as often or whatever. And she's like, I'm just so alone. And when she said, I'm just so alone, I was like, damn. Like, Tracy's issue is she really feels as if she does not have support. And now her support system, well, at least female-wise, of her niece is gone. And she just broke down. Man, she broke down crying. She couldn't breathe. She couldn't formulate the words in a full sentence, for some time or whatever. And her thing was, I can't get grounded, in life. And I feel like I'm afraid of, she said, I am afraid of the reality of her really being gone and I will never see her again. And she had to fight through to get that out. And I mean, she just had a whole breakdown, you know what I'm saying? And, I feel like Tracy is misunderstood because Tracy has anger issues too. But I think because she has anger issues, they ignore her signs of, but y'all are frustrating me and I feel like y'all don't give a fuck. They miss that because they ignore Tracy when she's angry. But she gets angry because she feels as if y'all ignore me. It's just, girl, it's so much. And she's like, I just miss her so much. You know what I'm saying? And that, we get it. We get it. I don't know. Anyway, because someone was just coughing and it sounded so close to my house, and it's 4 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, who the fuck walking past my shit at 4 a.m.? Anyway, the neighbors. But I gotta shoot people. Anyway, she brings up how, your niece would not want you to be sad. You know what I'm saying? She will understand you being sad that she's gone, but she would not want you to be here and be sad about it. You know what I'm saying? And Tracy admits, like, if I wasn't really grieving, like, if my niece was alive and I wasn't here grieving her, like, the whole wedding situation, like, that would not have even happened. I'm like, damn, it's so sad. Now we then see again the whole shutdown has now happened. Before it was just, COVID is out here or whatever. Now they're on shelter in place, stay at home or whatever. We see Tamar and Tony FaceTiming during the shutdown, up here chitting, chatting or whatever. And for me, I'm looking like Tamar said she's. When I'm done, I'm gonna go outside and I feel like somebody watching me. Anyway, Tamar said she stopped filming with them in December. Is what she's like. Well, I stopped filming in December, so why are they speaking on me? I'm like, but you was filming with them from like March till whenever. Because if Tamar was filming during COVID shutdown, that was March, April, May. Her situation happened in July. So my thing is, why are you surprised they speak about you? You were still filming shutdown scenes with them this year. Girl, I feel like that means Tamar was lying a little bit about when she stopped the show. You were filming the show, honey, this year. And not trying to attack her. But I'm like, the timeline don't add up or whatever. Anyway, we then see in Georgia how Trina had the mama Braxton come stay with her because, again, she didn't want my mama Braxton by herself in her condo or whatever. I'm like, cool. Vaughn works in, like, wellness infusions or whatever, so he's still working and whatnot. And Trina don't want Mama Braxton cooking too much because she's like, I don't want Vaughn getting used to my mama's cooking, you know what I'm saying? And then she don't like my cooking. I'm like, okay. And Vaughn then see, your mama like Jordan, you Pippin. I'm like, oh, that's not nice. Now we do see Tony having a conversation with Mikey about Tracy, and he brings up how, she's in therapy right now, and she's trying to get herself in a better space. And Tony like, well, I had to take a break from talking to her because I felt like, I didn't want to talk to her when I was upset, you know what I'm saying? And when Mikey then said, like, well, she's in therapy, whatever, and then she's still hurt about Lauren. Tony then said, oh, you think she's still mourning Lauren? And I'm like, excuse me, I'm like, it had only been like a year. People grieve, death's hard. Let me say, so I'm like, yeah, she took it. But the fact that you don't know that is crazy to me or whatever. But you're like, well, yeah, she is, because again, people grieve differently, whatever. And Tony, like, Tracy's always getting upset because she is the sensitive sister, whatever. So I hope she getting whatever help she need. I'm looking like, okay, Tony, I'm gonna leave that be too. We see Tracy's in quarantine with her family and everything. She brings up how, like, my focus is my family. You know what I'm saying? And my family is my husband, my son, my grandson, and then my daughter-in-law. My daughter-in-law. And Kevin works at the VA. He works in the mental health unit. I'm looking like, oh, that's something or whatever. And he's a program coordinator or whatever. But because of COVID, FEMA called him in to work the COVID unit. So he on the front lines there at the VA. I'm like, oh, that's kind of, girl, so sad. But we then see, on July, whatever, Tamar tried to take herself out. So again, it catches up to that because, again, they were still filming during COVID. And, Tony brings up how, like, I was working and Vince called me and he was almost crying and I couldn't even get what he was saying or whatever. And then he said, like, Tamar tried to kill herself. She brings up how then, immediately went to see about Tamar, but due to COVID, they would not let her into the room or whatever because she couldn't go into the hospital. Mama Braxton then brings up how Tony called me and told me what happened, and I instantly made my way to see Tamar as well because she's my daughter, so I got the first flight I can get out to see about her. And I never thought that she would ever get to the point of trying to take herself out because of her struggles. Tawanda brings up how she was asleep and she didn't even hear her phone ringing, but then Trina called Sean, her boyfriend or whatever, and so Sean then had to go wake up Tawanda, and then that's how she found out about it. Daddy Braxton brings up how he was terrified hearing the news because at that point when he found out, no one had any information. So they all had these questions about what happened, is she okay? But nobody really had answers. Like it was just kind of scary or whatever. Trina brings up how Alice wondered if she was okay, and it made me realize that we need to ask more questions and take time to listen to people when they are saying certain things. Tracy says how she had no idea Tamara was even struggling, okay, but she wished that she can give her sister a hug. And then Tony brings up how she isn't here to tell Tamar's story. I'm saying that Tamar has to tell her own story or whatever, but I wanted to talk about what happened, how it made me feel. And I said that at the beginning of this season, that they weren't talking about what happened to tell Tamar's story, but they lived it. I'm saying? They lived through it or whatever, and they're still shooting the season. The only stuff they had from before was really Trina's wedding and the lead up to the wedding. And then everything else kind of fell by the wayside or whatever. So they are still shooting stuff now, whatever. So, girl. And now it's the whole episode. I mean, what I take from it is the same way that they're realizing that they did not know that Tamar was struggling to do life in general, to where she, tried to take herself out. Look at Tracy that same way. Tracy struggles too. So don't ignore her feelings because y'all feel some kind of way, because you never know what can happen, okay? Anyway, I'm done. Peace.